Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show, the live composing show, where we meet every Tuesday and Thursday here on YouTube at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is where we work on real projects for commercial film, TV, video games, and podcasts. I'm your host, Stephen Malin, and today we are tackling a new track for Monster Sanctuary. So for those of you who've been joining me ever since January of this year, 2020, we have been really working hard to make this massive soundtrack for this game. And for those of you who have maybe played the game once or twice, but you haven't played it in a while, just yesterday there was a new update posted where pretty much every track that I've written and my co-composer Peter Jones has written are now in the game, which is super exciting. The only exception are any of the tracks that are not part of the story yet, because the dev team is working on more content for some of the new areas, and then obviously like the final boss battles and that type of stuff into credits, and any of those types of tracks that we have written but they're holding on to. So there's probably still 6 or 7 tracks that no one has heard yet, which is really exciting for me whenever these updates come out, because I like to go hunt through the game and find them all in real life, out in the wild. So that's always so much fun. Welcome, Jaroslav. Welcome, Michael. So glad you guys are here, and as everyone else piles in here today. I'm really excited because today we're working on a new track. This is called the Tree of Evolution. Now, this is a track that I was not expecting, but this is just the nature of game development. As a composer, I talk back and forth with the development team, and sometimes we just toss around ideas that we originally didn't come up with. And so even just this morning, there was a new pitch for an area of the game that previously there was no need for music, but now that there's more of a focal point there in the story, and it's kind of an optional area that you can go and grow your characters, your monster team that you capture. There's this tree that it's like the big wise tree that you offer certain items, and you can actually evolve your monsters, very much like Pokemon, how it kind of increases them, turns them into new monsters and that kind of thing. So I think it's gonna be really fun here today. And if you're wondering why, perhaps you're watching this live right now instead of the replay, if you notice that I don't have a proper thumbnail for this live stream today, for whatever reason, YouTube is being really weird today. So I'm actually having to stream this from Streamlabs OBS, which is what I normally do, but I can see your comments, but there's going to be a little bit of a delay because of I can't access YouTube, which is really bizarre. So yeah, that's throwing me off today, but that's okay. We're still going to make lots of progress here. Now, the goal over the next couple hours or so is to write this new track, which is going to be a 1-minute track, Tree of Evolution. And then if we have some extra time, I want to make a couple final edits to the Abandoned Tower track. Now, for those of you who've been following for the last several months as we've been doing these live streams, this track has just been a thorn in my side because we're now on version 9. And today, hopefully, we'll be done with version 10. There's just been a lot of little tweaks to the track, but it's like 95% there. And I'm really hoping today we can finalize this thing, get it done. But really, the issue that remains is getting a nice a balance between the sections. Because right now, if you join me on Tuesday, we made the track an A, B, A, C format, or the form of the track. So it's like a rondo, if you know music theory from classical music. But the only issue with that is the length of each section is not balanced enough. So what I will end up doing is doubling the A sections and kind of trimming down some of the B. And we'll talk about that when we get there. So we'll play around with that. But first, I want to tackle the new track because it's just more fun. I'm going to be totally honest. And I hope this will be a nice way for us to engage and have some fun here today. So, as always, for any of you who have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do so, because I do these streams every Tuesday, Thursday, and then new produced videos every Wednesday. And you'll notice right over here, boing, I now have an official title, Live Composing Show. And then also right down there, for those of you who have not picked up my free ebook, it only takes a few minutes to read, but it answers the top 25 questions every composer asks. completely free. It's a $17 value for free. Go grab that, and I think you'll enjoy that. It just takes a few minutes to read, and hopefully that will give a lot of you some quick wins today to take those first steps forward in becoming a music composer, because it doesn't happen overnight, but most of the time we don't have the knowledge, and so we kind of shy away and we become fearful. But hopefully that can illuminate some of the concerns you might have, and it'll do it really quickly without having to go read a 200-page book, without having to watch 17 YouTube videos, literally in a few minutes. That's why I made it, to help you guys take that first step. So anyway, let's write some music, shall we? So this track, Tree of Evolution, over here in my Cubase session, I have, let's see here. Interesting. Here's what I see on my screen. There we go. I see when you guys comment, this might just be an OBS thing, but when you guys comment, it's like showing up 3 or 4 times on the live chat, which I don't understand why. I hope it doesn't look like that to you. And actually, just before we get started, I want to make sure if you'll bear with me for just a sec. I want to check this out from my phone, which is like the only way I know that things work today with YouTube down, which is bizarre, so bizarre. And by the way, thanks guys for all the recent subs. I've now hit 12K, which is really cool. Channel's really growing, and that's really awesome. So yeah, everything's working. I'm just being paranoid. Anyway, so this track today, Tree of Evolution, there were a few reference tracks that I was handed, and I want to play just a snippet of each. And as always, when we're doing these live streams, I want to kind of take the sum or the average of these tracks, and then obviously to do our best to represent the overall genre, feel, tempo, time signature, etc. So let's take a quick listen to the reference that we're given. There's 4 of them. I'll just play like 10 seconds of each. And welcome Rilvanar Wilson, everyone else piling in here. But let's listen to Breath of Fire 3, Master Yggdrasil. I think this is my favorite reference from the list. Let me try it again. You didn't hear that, did you? All right, cool. So that's the first one. Next one is Chrono Trigger. Okay, cool. Let's go to number 3, which is Breath of Fire 3, Cedar Forest. So far, I hear a ton of similarities. And then over here, Final Fantasy 9. Okie dokie then. Cool. Thanks guys for letting me know about the whole repeating chat thing. That is so bizarre. Honestly, I blame YouTube just today as being very, very weird. So we'll survive this. We'll get beyond it. Please feel free to continue chatting. I don't know why it's like tripling on us. It's so bizarre. I've never seen that in years of doing YouTube lives. It's so weird. Oh well. YouTube can be a glitch fest sometimes. I just blame the whole season of COVID and they don't have enough workers and all kinds of weird stuff's going on. And Michael says, just started following the game composing stuff you're doing. Is this something you do through a library, or do you have a direct connection with the developers? Yeah, I'm working directly with the developers on all these games and films and such. This is my life. I'm literally working right now, so I turn on a video camera and let you guys be a part of it. I mean, that's my philosophy. Because, here, let me go on a quick rant. Because, Michael, this is a fantastic point to make. I'm glad you're here, honestly. My career has been largely shaped, any success I've had has been largely shaped by the mentors in my life. Starting off, that was college professors, but then as I got a little bit better and had more access to people, etc., and had more confidence and boldness in reaching out, I've gotten to spend a lot of time with A-list composers in Hollywood and over here on the East Coast. I've made those trips to go spend time and investments in going to events and just sitting down and doing interviews with people. And just so much of my time has been spent working with other people and working with, just being in the studio live with other composers. And there's something really valuable about that. And so one of my desires is to help bring that access to you guys who don't have that physical access. And typically in the composition world, everyone's closed off. No one wants to spend time with other people and they're busy. And I just found that the best blend for me is to do my work, but then turn a video camera on and engage with you guys and talk about why I do things. And I help it solves two problems. It creates an archive and a catalog for me personally to go back and refer to. Number two, it obviously provides value for you guys because you get to be a part. Oh no, you said the keyboard camera autofocus? That is going wild. What is going on, guys? That's so weird. Here. Oh, that is insane. I just can't get anything right. Oh my gosh. Hold on a second. I'm going to reactivate that. This I've never seen these weird glitches. Nope. It is losing its mind. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to do with you. Here, let's give it a break. That is so bizarre. I want to turn him off for a second. Nope. Now it's like me. I don't understand life right now. How about now? There. It's calm. It calmed down. Real Vinar. Oh, Lord. I was trying to make like a nice speech here. It's definitely one of those days. But yeah, Michael, so my whole point is some of the best things I've ever learned was just hanging out with composers in their studios, watching them work. And there's something very valuable about it. And it is, unfortunately, quite time consuming. Like, it takes a lot of time to just sit down for hours and watch someone work, but there's always something. There's a little golden nugget you learn, a little keystroke they did, or a process or a system that they used, or a tool that they used that just goes, whoa, how'd you do that? And so I hope to recreate that experience with you guys here for free. And I just think that's super valuable, and it kills two birds with one stone, allows me to work and adds accountability and motivation for me to work, but it also helps you guys. And I love that I can do both at the same time. I don't have to choose one or the other. And maybe even the third one is it provides a platform for the developer, in this case for Monster Sanctuary. I was just talking with one of them this morning when he's pitching this new track. And he said, hey, I just watched your live stream from a couple days ago. I watched the replay. Here are my thoughts, which is amazing. And he even specifically said, I liked this one moment. And he links to the exact moment of the live stream. He's like, this moment at minute 42 or whatever, where you did this one thing. Do you think you could take that one thing and actually put it into the real track? That is so valuable. That's incredible. And that's something you can't do if if your client doesn't see your creative process. And I just love that it's a catalog for me, because I write so fast and I write so many tracks in my life that I can't document them all. It's not possible, right? I write just about as much off screen as off camera as I do on camera. There's just no way. But I try to be more selective about variety and letting you guys in on what I do. But I just think it's so cool when developers either join the live chat and they get to be there with you, or if I'm collaborating with someone like Peter Jones, who's my assistant composer on this soundtrack, sometimes he'll pop into these and he'll give me advice and his thoughts, which is just amazing. Sometimes you guys have great suggestions. Sometimes you have terrible suggestions, and that's okay. It gives us conversations to have, and I just think it's really valuable. So there you go. I could literally make a whole video about that. I kind of just did. There you go. But that's why I live stream. Moving on. And hopefully this blasted camera, the autofocus will stop like going bonkers on you. But anyway, so back to the show. I just learned that I really can't type into this chat without going to my phone, and that's going to be obnoxious. So yeah, did I answer all your questions? Tutor says, this can also be passive mentoring for aspiring musicians and composers. Exactly. That's the whole point. And Michael says, I think it's great that you're doing this. I don't have any resources or mentors nearby. That's how it goes. And Noble says, 100% agree. Yay. So I know that this stuff is super valuable. Man, if I could have this in my life 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would be twice as good or 3 times as far as I am in my career now. So my hope for you guys is that you are way better than me, way sooner than me. Isn't that what teaching is all about? But anyway, let's get back to it. So here's what I hear from those 4 reference tracks. I hear an arpeggio, bum, 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 an ostinato of a harp or a guitar. I don't use guitar in this soundtrack, so let's use a harp. And they're always minor. That kind of thing. Something like that. I also notice that they're all either a minor chord or a 2 chord. So in this case, if I'm doing A minor, I might throw in that the D on top. Something like that. And then I also notice that each of these tracks has a low bass. Boom, boom, boom. And they also all have pizzicato strings or legato strings. So that's really the palette I'm working with here today. Might throw in a woodwind to help give it more of that woody vibe. But I should also show you guys, if you haven't seen this, it would behoove us. Who uses that word, really? I want to find a little clip of the Tree of Evolution. Actually, I can just find I have a screenshot from it. That'll work. Get my screens. There we go. Cool. So you see that right there. So that is the Tree of Evolution. There's your character, and you come over here. It's kind of like the Great Deku Tree from Zelda, if you're familiar, where you talk to it, and you offer items to transform your monsters into better monsters. So yeah, it's a pretty fun place to go, and you don't go terribly often, but it's one of those things that once you get new items in the game, you want to bring them there so you can try to see if they'll improve your monsters and that kind of thing. So it's supposed to feel mystical, special, that kind of thing. So that's my main takeaway from these reference tracks, is that it's like an 80 BPM or like 66, something like that. It has a nice steady pulse, but it's 16th notes in the harp or the guitar in the bass. Noble's talking about the chat notification. Yeah, it's going insane. Let me go to my chat box. Maybe this will solve it. Let me deactivate it real quick. I'm not sure. How about now? Okay, there it goes. I took it away. Let's bring it back. And then we'll see when you guys start typing again if it loses its mind. And I will actually do that real quick with each of my screens, just 2 of them. There we go. Yay! Did that work? Lord have mercy on my soul. And hey, nope, it's just going to keep repeating. Whatever. Okay, guys, looks like we are hiding the chat box for the rest of this stream. Keep talking in the live chat, though. But that's insane. Whatever. Let's get back to the show. There's weird tech glitches today. This is literally a first that every single one of these glitches has happened, and they're all happening in the same day. What the heck? Anyway, with the name Tree of Evolution and the harp mystical theme goal, I'd bet a Duke would sound good in the track. That's a cool suggestion, Michael. I am limited to the palette that I've created for this soundtrack. And Peter, we both created a contact library specific for this game, and so I am kind of stuck with what I have. That's okay. Let's move on, shall we? So, one of my favorite things in video games is when, if you start with a little ostinato, I love when the ostinato is an inversion and not the root position. So that way it's a little bit more mystical, and I want it to be more pentatonic than anything. Like there's no way of telling what that chord is, because that could be a C7. That could be so many chords because I'm not giving away a tonality. I mean, it's kind of an E minor, but the bass will determine what it actually is. So let's get that in. I have a BPM set to 68. Let's start writing in 4/4 time. Ooh, that's way too slow. Should those be 8th notes or 16th notes? Let's actually do a faster tempo, and let's see what that is. I'm gonna try 130. Too fast. Just trying different tempos here. But I like the idea of doing 8th notes. Probably 90. Let's stick with 90 BPM and see how that feels once we get to measure 2. Zoom in. Let's have some fun, shall we? That sounds like, it just feels like an old wise tree, don't you think? Maybe not by itself, but it helps to set the vibe. So let's quantize all those for 8th notes. There it is, 8 bars, and I'm gonna go ahead and chop them up. Like so. Ooh. That is super loud from my last track. Let me turn it down. Dun, 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 dun. Cool. I'm not 100% on every one of those notes, but I am going to quantize that to 8th notes and then copy. Let's just keep that harp rolling. Let's call that an A section. I have a feeling this is going to be a very quick composition for this track. Just the nature of it is very simplistic, which works. Feels good. So we'll call that the A. Let's have a nice short A because it's only a 1 minute loop here today. Let's do a B section. And let me actually time it out. That's a good tempo. It feels good to me. Let's take a look at our right screen. Down here, you'll see how it says 37, 38. So 1 minute from this moment would be 38, 38, exactly. So let's find that moment, 38, 38, whatever is closest with our even number of bars here, which is right there. And then all I do is put 1 minute loop as my marker, drag the little marker dude to right there, and now we know exactly how long to write. And that already feels so short. I'm so used to these 2 minute tracks for this game. That looks so short to me, but that's just kind of what it is. So that feels good. I've been playing Final Fantasy VIII, replaying that game. There's something that they do in that game. That's cool. That's going to feel really good. Let me just turn it down. It's pretty loud. Just in those gaps. Have a delay on those. Put that in the measure off. And then go to a B section from there. Probably not to a G. That's not a good place to go. But I like that a lot. And it keeps the eighth notes consistent, and it helps to fill in the gaps. One of my favorite things to do, not earlier in my career, but definitely more recently, is I like to leave space in my melody to make some interesting space for the harmonic content. So for example, you notice if you just even look at the shape, you'll see how my melody has a gap between each of these little moments, each of these phrases. And what it does is it adds a lot of room for other things. Tutor, I don't love the sound of the pits yet. I got to find the mix. I got to really get it in there. And it might even work better with piano delay. Something like that, right? I like the piano too. It might even work better than pits. Or maybe I need to find a different function for the pizzicato down there. I just muted it. Just find a good spot for this piano. This soundtrack is littered with delayed piano, which is very reminiscent of Chrono Trigger, which is one of the core influences of this soundtrack. So I might want to do something a little bit simpler. That way the delay counts. Maybe Maybe just like repeat that phrase. Like that. Yeah, I'll connect it a little bit better. I like that. What do you guys think? Pizzicato or piano for that little interim, little interlude? Like that. Because I don't want to like change character or anything. I want this just to feel like one track. Because there's no emotion behind this track. It's literally, in this instance, I'm not scoring story. I'm not scoring a scene. I'm just like scoring the character, which is this giant tree who talks for like a second. It's meant to be like this little mood. It's supposed to feel different than the energetic forest you just came out of. You guys are funny. You're fighting over the pits or the piano. So maybe I can do both. I just got to find the right way of mixing it in there. It's so loud right now. Get some syncopation in there, like that, with the low bass. Ooh, well said, Tutor. Says that I think the lower pitch sounds a lot more fitting for the giant hulking tree. I like that. Anytime I can attach a reason behind a pitch or an instrument, it just feels good. And specifically for this track, we're talking about a tree, which is wooden, so it makes sense to use wooden instruments, which in this case would be a piano, which is wood-ish, and a harp, which is also made out of wood and strings. But then obviously the strings themselves, the pizzicato and the legato, which I'll probably get some high, airy violins or something in a sec. I like that. It's a good rationale. Okay, the Green Guardian says, I think pizzicato is better for that. I'm assuming you're talking about like the low. And the piano should be there more as an ornament, but what you're doing is also good. Okay, cool. I'm liking that a lot. And that also gave me some more options to do some chords. The whole thing's basically in E minor, but with the moving bass line. And yet, Noble, I don't think you're alone in that. I think most people associate pizzicato with woods. But there's also a dreamy, mystical sense to this, and this whole game has a lot of mystical elements. The main bad guys are the alchemists who use magic, and I use a lot of delay piano for them, and so it actually makes sense to have this in the universe. And I should also make a quick note. One of my philosophies in writing music is I always want my music within the first 5 seconds to instantly symbolize me as a composer and symbolize the project. So within 5 seconds, you should hear Monster Sanctuary and you should hear Stephen Malin. And so the delay piano is one of my signature sounds. A lot of strings, this harmonic pattern, it's very me, and I like that. And I think this really fits. Okay, so here, so here I'm doing a C7, C major 7. Oops. Cannot type or do anything right. Okay, there we go. C major 7. Then B minor 7, just to help it move a little bit more. Then back to E minor. Sounds like this, C major. And I just repeat it without doing the whole A section again. It's a nice little tag. Now we have to add my choir pad. This is very perfect for mystical stuff. I use the choir in not every track, but anything that needs to sound mystical, especially all the alchemist tracks and the battle tracks and stuff. I try to get as much choir as I can. That'll help set the tone too. Especially just doing delay on the 16th note. Like that. As much fun as that would be if this was like a battle track with the tree. I could really go to town. Let's just have some fun real quick. Let's load them up. Load them up, load them up. Let's get the orchestra, let's get that. Let's get some strings, let's get pizzicato. Let's just have a moment, shall we? Because if I don't, I will regret it. You're welcome. Okay, back to the show. Like, come on. You just gotta do it sometimes. This is real life. This is what I do. It's good to get crap out of your system in a good way, right? And I have to be totally honest that one of the best reasons to do live streaming is when I go into some stupid thing like that. Sometimes it's actually good and you can still pitch it to the dev and they're like, you know what? That'd be really cool to have a battle with that tree. And then all I have to do is go back and listen and write it, Just saying. Not that I have to document my life or anything, but it's just fun. Anyway, so if I was going to do a battle with a tree, but we're not, because he's a nice tree. He helps us evolve our monsters. I don't want to go timpani route. It's too military. This is too much of a peaceful track. This is one of those tracks that I got to do less, but be more interesting with my choices. I don't know. I do a lot of that scooping in the track or in the soundtrack. I don't know if I like it here. It feels too weighty. But isn't that the point of the tree? I don't know. So I don't think I can do both. I can do string pits or the bass. Like it as much. I'll put a mute on it just in case we want to come back to it later and consider it. Maybe the dev likes it better, but I'm thinking just string pits. It gives it enough space between the notes. I like it better, personally. Some symbols in here for the section changes. It's a nice transition tool. Symbols are kind of used in everything. Highly recommend it. I don't think I want any more. I think it's almost done. Da-da-dum. That's what I'm feeling would be a better melody. So let's just put it in. I don't know. I feel like we have what we need. I think now we really just need to make an intro. It's not usually the solution I would offer, but I think in this instance, to hit the time needed, I don't think this needs a B section, which is a bizarre suggestion, but I really think that is what needs to happen. So let me do 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me do an intro of some strings or something. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Bum 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 bum. This also gives us an opportunity to put another cymbal, which is a very good transition tool. So let me put this here. Hopefully you're following. And thanks, Noble, for the cool points. Over 9,000. I appreciate that. I will only accept that comment if you're referring to Raditz from DBZ. The only way I'll accept that. Over 9,000? Or is that Vegeta? I think it's Vegeta when Goku comes back, right? Am I getting that right? Getting my chronology of DBZ. So yeah, this intro is really just going to be an E chord, E minor chord hanging on, but I want to keep the pizzicato element. I'm getting rid of the bass. He's dumb. I'm going to do the pizzicato. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even know how to count anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. It's too skinny. There you go. So I'm taking the string pizzicato, just copying it over to make a nice little intro piece. And we do that with the strings hanging out on an E5 chord. And it's way too loud, so the solution to that is to first of all quantize, but then bring the velocity all the way up collectively, and then just make sure everything is at 100%, and then bring it all down to the blue, very light velocity until I'm happy with it. Oh, duh, we need a harp. That's what's missing. I'm like, why does it feel so naked? 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's all there is to it right there. That'd be cool to have the strings. And these little pauses. again, these strings sound like junk if you don't quantize them and if you don't do the velocity thingy, which is, again, where I pull them all the way up 100% and then drag them down to really fit. But I like that short note. Yeah, sounds pretty cool. Thanks, Devin. And Rashad, that's a funny comparison to the Resident Evil safe rooms. I know what you mean, though. I haven't played the Resident Evil games, but I do know that theme. We're getting there. Still missing. Gotta have that choir pad. Cubase. This is Cubase 10.5, I believe. Back and check real quick. Where is it? It shows you when you boot it up. I don't even know. 10.5, I think. It's what the latest is. I couldn't even tell you. I love that. It helps to make it mystical to me. Only at select moments. I gotta turn it down, play it the right way. I like not changing instruments as the melody. I just think it needs to be that oboe. It needs to just soar on through. Hey, what's up, Demi dear? And yeah, Devin, totally Chrono Trigger vibes, no doubt. Not the time for Wurlitzer. Okay, so the reason I did this whole intro bit was so that, hopefully, by the time we time this out, let's take a look. Down here, it says 37 minutes and 38 seconds, so the final track should be 38:38. We're very close to it, which is right there, 38:37. Like, it's dangerously close. mean, it's only a few seconds off. And knowing that the game dev team, they'd rather have a good loop at the right tempo versus just extending for the sake of extending. So that's very, very close. And should create a very powerful loop. Let's see what that feels like. I like it. What do you guys think going to that E minor 9? That's a super Chrono Trigger chord right there. That's a Mitsuda dictionary right there to do an E minor 9. I love it. It doesn't mean that the game devs will love it, but it's worth a shot if I can sneak that in there. Ooh, Noble, what a fantastic. Well, Antelope says, yes, it sounds like Chrono Trigger, so he's in love. Yeah. But Noble says, it sounds like a calmer version of Majora's Mask, Stone Temple. Oh my gosh, freaking love Stone Tower. How does that one go? I mean, I know it's all parallel fifths, which, by the way, music theory, if you go to music theory school, like I did, they say never, ever, ever, ever do parallel fifths. I think it's freaking amazing harmony. I mean, it's literally everything that Koji Kondo does. In fact, I think I intentionally use parallel fifths almost all, like every track. I just think it's incredible harmony. It's modal. It's not correct because it's not scalar. It takes advantage of the Phrygian mode versus and hey, Antelope, so glad you like this one as your favorite. That's a huge compliment. Thank you. All right, let's fix this thing up. Oh my gosh, freaking Debussy. Love some Debussy. You're right. I mean, it is nonstop parallel fifths. And yes, Scott, totally. If you know the rules, you can break them. And I know the rules, so I'm going to break them. So what I want to do here is, let's keep this It's good, but it's too repetitive. We do it 4 times in a row. So the secret sauce here is to move it to repetitions 1 and 3 only. And then on repetitions 2 and 4, I can do the opposite. So instead of going, I can go down. I'm on like a sad music kick right now. Here's a pro tip. If you ever want to write sad music, grab strings and then move in parallel motion with both hands. But here's the trick, secret sauce. This is straight up Gustav Holst. This is Debussy, as just mentioned. This is, what's his face? Sorry, rest in peace, James Horner. Then you have the great romantic, sad music writers. Here's the secret. Oh, and Harry Gregson Williams does this. Something more modern film. And, who am I thinking of? James Newton Howard does this. Here's the trick. You ready? You ready? Do motion like this. Right, so parallel motion. But then the secret is the violas. Take those violas in the middle and use the violas to move around in all the notes that are in between, called passing tones. But let them land on the crunchy notes, on the 2s and the 7s and the 9s, the 11s, the 13s. See that crunchy crunch? I love viola. One of my favorite instruments by far. Tudor says, since it's a tree of evolution, shouldn't it be more towards major uplifting? Not in a jarring way, but it might be dissonant from the setting. Maybe. The only note I had was be mystical. To me, mystical is like 2 chords and maybe not so much minor. So let me think on that. There it is. All right, doing what I did earlier, just kind of bringing down the... Oh no, we're about to do some viola jokes. Bring them on. The world cannot handle enough. similarly, I'm just taking this little chunk, duplicating him to be repetition number 4. Hopefully it'll work. Maybe it won't. There we go. Gotta chop these up better. Because right now it is not, it is very confused. Just like everything else with YouTube today. Okay. Oh Lord, come on. Even though I like that little phrase, I just don't know if it's going to be approved. It's a little in your face. Let me attempt to reduce the velocities on these. Hopefully it won't be so extreme. Yeah, the Guado from Final Fantasy X. That's a great reference too. I like it better with no strings at the beginning, actually, and maybe just a single string to help get us into the vibe without going all the way. I think it's a nice way to start small. Let me play the track one more time as we look at the picture, and hopefully this will make it everyone agree that it works. And if you disagree, good. That means I'm writing good music, because there's always a naysayer every time. Doesn't matter how good the music is. It's true. I really, really like this. Okay. Demi Deer says it's missing some sparkle. There's some sparkle for you. That actually works. I like that a lot, actually. I'm digging the high. Can always turn it down a little bit. That's my synth bell. I think it gives it a nice little shimmer that wasn't there before, and it gives it clarity of pitch as well. Tudor says, yes, I think more earthy textures would feel better with the giant tree theme, like though the sparkles could fit the white flowers on it. Oh, that's interesting. So what would you suggest? Like a horn? That's very earthy. That might solve the baritone issue. Very majestic and huge, right? That's a good solution too. That just gave it a lot of Final Fantasy IX ism. This guy really nailed the notes. Thanks for the push there, guys. I agree. I think that helps to solve the mix, gives it some frequency, and also gives us an opportunity to emphasize the little, sub melody, but with harmony, which is interesting. This really feels like Umatsu right now. Let's just roll with it. Now this reminds me of all things, is the rainy city. Is it Bermesia? Let me pull it up real quick. I don't know. I have no idea what that music sounds like. So I won't even play it, but I want to show the screen, and maybe you guys will agree what a fitting track this would be. Let me play it over here. Check this out. Oh my gosh. So, I hope I haven't gone too dark, but this would very much fit in a Final Fantasy game. I don't know. It's maybe if I add that bell back in, it'll give it more of this shiny vibe. So yeah, let's do those two things and we'll be done with this track. So we gotta get the horns in there. Let's do one full pass of the horns, and then I'll add the bell. Yeah, Vivi is a black mage. You gotta play that game. It's so good. Arguably the best Final Fantasy game. Personal opinion. Okay, cool. That harp really adds a lot. Let's get that in there. Intro is. It really, really helps. To answer Rye's question, what's this game story about? It's all about trying to restore the Monster Sanctuary. So you're living in a world where monsters have gone wild, and you're trying to tame them for your team. What did I just do? I don't think I recorded any of that. There it is. Oops. And so you're trying to restore it, trying to fight from the bad guys, but then you learn about halfway through the game that maybe you're the bad guy. Dun, dun, dun. That the bad guys are trying to protect the world, but maybe you're the villain. Wah, wah. So there's a lot of, thematically, there's a lot of, what do you call this? It's like moral indecision, perhaps, is the theme of the game. So my music is very modal, meaning it's not happy, it's not sad. It's kind of this in-between zone of, musically, I'm using a lot of minor ninths, a lot of minor sevenths, because it's combining major and minor chords at the same time. So it's kind of my style. I hate overtly happy and overtly sad things. I like ambiguous in the middle, choose your own fate kind of deal. That's why I like games like this. They're good to play too. I just love it. I just love this intro. There, I think we have our track. I'm very happy with this. I'll do one more pass when I just use my monitors later, so that way I can just remix it, because mixing with headphones is never the best plan. What I'm going to do is, while we prep for the next track, let me export this. All I do for that, not that track. We're doing, what's it called? It's not Tower. Tree of Evolution. And thanks, Marie. I appreciate that. I think it's been a lot of fun. And Dimudir, thank you for the push to, really for all these tracks, to be clean and simple. And I think simple and clean is the way. Anyway, thanks for pushing me to make this a simple soundtrack that has a lot of poignancy, is maybe the good word for it. Okay, so there we go. Take this guy. For now, I'm just doing an MP3 bounce, because I've learned, having worked on this soundtrack for a while, that it makes no sense for me to go and create all the loops and the OGG file and all the stuff that the devs need until I've gotten the approval. So it's just wise to export the demo, the loop, and then they'll play it and they'll let me know really fast whether or not it's the correct direction or not. So got that. So now I'm going to take a 2-minute break. Grab some coffee. I'll be back for another track here in just a couple minutes. We'll be working on the final version 10 of the Abandoned Tower. So don't go anywhere. All right, everybody, welcome back to part two, quarantine life. Okay, welcome back to part two of the live composing show. I'm your host, Stephen Malin. Today we are writing for Monster Sanctuary. If you joined us for part one, we were writing a brand new track called Tree of Evolution. Had a lot of fun with that. Apparently it sounds very much like Mitsuda, like Chrono Trigger soundtrack, or even Final Fantasy IX, Nobu Uematsu. Two of my inspirations, no doubt. Thank you guys for joining me for part two. Now, for this next half, we're going to be working on Abandoned Tower version 10. I can't believe we've made it all the way up to version 10. It's kind of insane. The story behind this track is just unreal. I have not quite hit version 15, which I think is my the most revisions I've ever done in my life for anything. But this is starting to become a historic track. I feel like this is all I do now is revise Abandoned Tower every single day. But we're close. I feel like I finally have the piece of information I need from the game devs to do this track justice. And we're going to finish this thing. We're going to do it right. I'm all about fighting to the end and getting stuff done correctly, even if it takes 10 flipping versions to do it. And if you've watched every version, I'm so sorry. But I'm also not sorry, because that's just real life. That's what it means to be a composer. That's what it means to fight the good fight, right? To do stuff right. Because, check it out. I'm pretty sure that Tree of Evolution track, which took us an hour and a half to write, it's 1 minute of music, and I'm done. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be approved, because it kind of hits all the points. It solves the mood. It has good instrumentation, and it's been vetted by you guys, and I think it's going to work. At most, version 2, and it'll be approved. But sometimes I could write good music, but it's not the correct vibe for the moment in the game. And so this track is just, it's something that's given me trouble. I think it's given the game trouble. Because for those of you who have watched since the beginning, back in January when we started this game, the game was in a very different state. The game has been through multiple iterations and versions and revisions, updates. The game looks completely different. Even as of yesterday, they changed all the sprites for the animations in the game, and now it looks incredible. The game's looking better every day. And now that I've worked along with the team for 6 months and change, they are now going back, now that I've completed, air quotes, now that I've completed the soundtrack, they have now asked me to go back and to redo some tracks, such as Snowy Peaks, which was just added yesterday. There's a new Keeper's Tower. There's a new Keeper's Stronghold. And some other tracks in there. The Oracle track is now updated. There's a new battle theme. Like, they're asking me to go back and to kind of slowly make the whole game uniform. Because up to this point, at least when I started, the game was musically in a very different place. And I'm very, very happy with where we're at right now, and I'm happy with the end. So it is worth putting in 10 versions if we can get the right track in the game. And this Abandoned Tower is a section that the game has not included yet. It'll be one of the new sections, along with Mystic Workshop. What else can I tell you? That's about all I can tell you. There are more tracks. There are more tracks coming. New locations coming, I should say, that I can't talk about. But there's a lot more coming to the game, and it's just fascinating to be on this side of it and to watch the game development. It's been a lot of fun. So here we go. Let's jump into Abandoned Tower version 10. I do want to play what we have so far. And I want to... Oh man, you guys are asking all kinds of questions. Scott says, wake you up twice as fast and raises your mental I don't even know what you guys are talking about anymore. Just have fun in the chat. Let's play some Abandoned Tower. So here is the track we worked on Tuesday. It's so close, guys. So let's listen. It's 2 minutes. Enjoy. Grab your coffee. Here's the Abandoned Tower version 9, but we're going to revamp it quite a bit. I already know what to do, so let's go. Alrighty, so that's what we've had so far, version 9. It's really close, but even listening back to it now, I can already see what needs to be changed to really get this thing finalized. It has to do with the order of the form, and it has to do with the intensity of the instrumentation. So what I can hear is the A sections are too short. The B and C section should be flipped. That was a recommendation from the devs. And then the B section just gets way too big. It gets way too intense, way too soon, and it doesn't feel natural or organic, and it's just not right. So that's what I'm trying to do. And let me read this. So Demidir says the switch in drumming between A and B is kind of weird, noticeably. To A prime is better, has the overall more punch to it. Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping to solve here today. It just, I don't know why this track has given such trouble. It's just a weird one. But let's do it. Let's finish this thing up and move along. Will this game come to Nintendo Switch? Probably. This was originally a Kickstarted game. I don't remember. Some of the guys in the chat might actually know that better than me because I wasn't a part of the original Kickstarter, so I didn't pay attention to all that. But probably. So here's what I'm going to do. I want to piecemeal this together. So I'm going to go to each section real quick. Chop it up into a little chunk. This way I can, one piece at a time, kind of reassemble it, Frankenstein monster style. That way they're all just individual chunks. Should be easy to resort. Hey, what's up, Alex? Welcome. Thanks, James. Having lots of fun with this. So I want to keep the tempo and everything the same, but I'm just making a new marker over here for version 10. I have not kept every version, but more recently, with all the changes that have been needed, I'm keeping all the versions. So here's what I want to do. I want to restructure the form. I wrote it down. Let me look at my notes. That's not what we want. Let me look at my notes. What I want is intro, A prime, C, A prime, B, and then repeat. It's a little bit different than what we've been doing. So I want intro, A. So the way I'm going to do this is literally copy and paste like that. I'm not even going to drag it. I'm just going to do straight up copy paste and do that over here. Make sure that this is called intro, and this should go by really fast. Hoping. So there we go. We have intro and A. And then I want the A prime to be beside it, which was this part. They didn't love the shuffling that I did last time. So there it is, A prime. And then we want to exchange these. So I actually want to go C. I know it's going to look weird, sound weird, whatever. But I want to do the C section way down here, next. Oops, I'm not combining that with the tree. That would not work. There it is. Okay. Just gotta find my stuff. So what happens when you have 2,000 measures? Ugh. It's a mess. Okay. So there we are. That's the C section. And then redo the A's. So it's going to feel like an A-B loop, but it's going to add that extra bit of change at the end once we do the B, which is way down here. There it is, copy. Let's go to our spot, paste, and then the loop. We'll just call it like 2.5 minute loop. I have no idea how long the timing is now. It's going to be the section, and then let's create our looper bar, and that should be it. And yes, Alex, I have used Digital Performer. If you notice, take a quick glance right here, shabam, it's right there. I use it mostly for film, not so much for video games, just because it's a very complicated DAW, and it's overly complicated for simple writing, and that's just not my default or go-to. Savannah says, to me, this track kind of sounds like something that would be on my personal playlist of favorite video game tracks. Well, awesome. That's very kind of you. Hopefully this does make your favorite list. Can't wait to release the soundtrack eventually. A little side note, full disclaimer, with this particular situation, this was a buyout soundtrack, which means the publisher, which is Team 17, big publisher. They do lots of AAA games. They literally bought the rights to the music. So the Monster Sanctuary Moi Rai Games team does not own the music. And this is very typical in AAA titles. This is a, I don't know what you call it, but it's like a AAA indie title, I guess. Very well-funded title, which is awesome. But the music is technically owned now by Team 17, which means they will be selling it if they wish as a soundtrack. That's not a right that I have, but that's just an exchange I had to make in order to write on this game, which I was happy to do. So it's a little different than a lot of my soundtracks that I would release normally on Spotify, etc., Apple Music and such, but that's another motivation for me to put it here before someone else does. I think it's fun to have these soundtracks here, and you can kind of hear the iterations and stuff. So I don't control that, so I can't make a promise that it's going to be released where you want it to be, but, it's just a trade-off you make sometimes. In the same way that John Williams is not going to release his own music on Bandcamp, right? It will be the official Star Wars release as they please, where they please, when they please kind of thing. So here's the new version 10. I'm going to do some tweaking, but let's just listen to what we have so far. I'm actually really liking this new version, this new arrangement. So all I did is in this C section, what was previously the C section, now it's technically a B section. I removed some of the doubling of the melody. And yes, Noble asks, does that mean you don't earn the full sale? It just means that I was able to charge a higher rate for the buyout of the tracks. So I write the tracks, they pay more. I just don't get to sell the soundtrack and earn that revenue at the end, which is why I bumped the price, which is fine. Just a different way to do business. I'm going to double it with the wind ensemble. says, how did you come to your current rates? If you want to know for real, I increase my rates 30% every time I do a project until they get really high. There's really no magic to it. I just have written lots of projects, like over 80 or 90 different projects, maybe more. You can check my credits list if that's something you want to do. My website, stevenmalin.com. But the main thing right now is I'm using a rate calculator. I have a YouTube video about that process of how using a rate calculator has increased my income by 500%. True story. Go check it out. Might change your life. You're correct. Most AAA game composers do not earn royalties. Sometimes they do. Sometimes you can strike a deal with them, but it's not much if it is, because the game companies understand how valuable that is. But that's why the game composers negotiate a much higher buyout rate. That's why we have attorneys and such, right? So we have representation. I don't, but many composers do. DirectX. I saw your question. I don't have a good answer. Any tips for 7th chord progressions in the key of B minor? I mean, every key is about the same. I don't really know what you're asking, to be totally honest. I do have a polychord video. If you're interested in the music theory behind polychords, taking 2 chords, putting them on top of each other. I am not much of a music theory nerd. I use music theory as a tool, but I don't go super duper deep because I'm less up here. I'm more down here, if that makes any sense. Okay, we need a symbol. One of those. Let's find it. Let's get one of these right here. Let me grab. And yes, Xavier. Game devs, in my world, game devs have always dictated the length of the track because that affects how much they pay. I am someone who is paid by the minute of music, or if you buy in bulk and you buy like 20 minutes of music, 40 minutes of music, whatever, every minute counts. And so the devs will try to divvy up how long they want each track to be. Sometimes it's a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes, whatever. That's how I've always done it. It's always worked very well. That sounds good. And yes, Scott, I would raise your prices every time, even with the same client, every time, 30%, until you get 3 no's. That's the magic number. At least that's my opinion. Seems to have worked. It's worked up to this point. So for example, if I change my price, go up 30%, let's say I was charging, I don't know, $500 for a minute of music. And let's say we bump it by 30%, it goes up to $650. So I'm going to pitch that $650 to the next game dev. And if they say no, then I say, all right, cool. Thanks so much. Have a good day. Here's Bob Joe over here. He'll write for your game. He'll be great for you. Okay, cool. So I just made 2 people happy. And didn't sign up for something that was not a good fit for me. And then the second game dev, same thing happens. Okay, cool. Third one, same thing happens. Okay, cool. Now I know if I got 3 no's, then my price is too high. I need to lower my price back to the 30%. Let's stick with that for a little bit longer and then increase it next time. However, every time I've done this since the beginning of my career, usually by the first or second says yes. Sometimes the first one says no, and then I get a little sad, but then I try it on the next person, and then they say yes. And the funny thing is, the longer I do this, the more yeses I get the first time, and then I punch myself saying, dang it, I should have raised my price more, or I shouldn't have waited so long, that kind of thing. Just try it. That's all I can say. I think you'll be shocked. So I like this. just with that symbol, it like connects everything together. And I'm fine with the A repeating twice, exactly the same. Those are the exact words from the developer, by the way. So I am going to take him up on that. He said, I don't care. He like literally said, I don't care if you want to literally copy and paste the A section twice because it sounds good. I'm now very partial about this timpani roll, though. Let me try it with and without. I don't like it anymore because now that we've changed sections. Let me see if the timpani rolls ever fit. I like it between the A sections. See, there's one here too. I think I like it there. It helps to get the motion again. So yeah, I think that's going to work really well. That helps to connect all of these sections better, and that may have just solved the entire track. Cool, that feels really good now as at the end. Final test to see if the timpani roll feels good or not. Is there a timpani roll? No, I don't even have one. Yes, I do. It's right there. There it is. I'm cool with that. I think that may have just solved all of my problems. And you're welcome, Fullboy and Noble. I'm here to help however I can. At the end of the day, I can only share my experience, but yeah. Hopefully it's helpful. Xavier says, does the end then loop back? Yep, the purple bar, it always shoots back to the beginning. Guys, I think I'm going to stay simple and just end it there and call it a day with Abandoned Tower. I really think that is a good fit. That's going to work. I don't know what else to do or change, and I feel like I hit all the markers. I hit all the notes from the developer, and sometimes you just got to stop and let it be. So I think it's good because version 9 was good. And I think by stripping down some of those double melodies and stuff, it really helped. Question from DirectX. Is there anyone in the Discord you would recommend I talk to about composing jazz fusion-esque tunes? Why, yes. I would highly recommend you talk to Peter Jones, also known as Xeno Keys, Xeno Key, K-E-Y-Z. He has a Talkbox channel, by the way, and he's my co-composer for this game. So any of the jazz fusion-esque things that you hear in this soundtrack is a result of Peter, mostly the bass lines, the drums, that kind of stuff. He's your guy. Go talk to him. He knows that whole world, which is fantastic. And yes, Xavier, for real, just hit send. I mean, as composers, we can get in our own heads so much at the time that we end up overwriting or overproducing, and this is done. It needs to be done. So I'm going to go turn it in, be on with my life. So if this was valuable for you guys, I am going to end the stream here. Thank you guys for being a part. Hit that like button. even on these streams, it really does help. It helps to share with others on YouTube. And if you've not subscribed to my channel yet, I do these live composing show streams every Tuesday and Thursday, like the card, the brand new card there says, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday and Thursday. Be here for those. Hit the little bell notification to know when I hit record. And then if you have not downloaded my free ebook called The Top 25 Questions Every Composer Asks, it literally only takes a few minutes to read, and it is a 1-sentence answer to your top 25 questions. And those questions are taken from thousands of comments, thousands of composer interactions, and I've taught lots of composers, both one-on-one and in group settings, online, obviously, with courses and Facebook community and YouTube. It's just, I've had a lot of exposure to young composers, and they all ask literally the same questions. And there's about 25 questions that everyone asks, and I just have like little one or 2 sentence answers for each of them. And hopefully that's super helpful and valuable for you, just to kind of get some quick wins here at the start of your career. And I hope that is very valuable. So go download that. It's free, $17 value, completely free. Hope you will enjoy that. Just hit that little link right there, stevemalin.com/25 questions. And I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to play the final track, version 10, Abandoned Tower. Let's hope this is the one that gets into the game, please, because I want to move on. Hope you guys have a fabulous day. Let's play it out. And I'll see you next time. Bye.